and welcome to Feed Dump. This week, we're all things that are happening in November. I'm Desert Bus for Hope 2017. That's right, it's happening again November 17th at 10 a.m., so tune in for this sitch in varying degrees of dishevelment and sadness. Joining me this week is Whimsy Afternoon.
The fuck is Whimsy Afternoon?
And renewing Bija's auto insurance.
I needed to call it something other than Whimsy Afternoon.
An employee of Texas's Cameron County Juvenile Justice Department is themselves going to hella jail after their boss had found out that they had stolen over $1.2 million worth of fajitas over 9 years.
All right, $1.2 million divided by 9 years, but that's times 365 days in the year. But then, oh, damn it, no, he doesn't work weekends.
I actually want to work this out in reverse. Like, how many of these did he steal? Can you steal that many? Can you eat that many? Was he eating them? Was he just, like, a fence? Can you fence fajitas?
Alex with the soul read. He was, in fact, trafficking stolen fajitas. How he got caught was he was away from his desk. Somebody called in and said, hey, it's the food delivery company. We're delivering your 800 pounds of fajitas for your monthly drop. And people were like, we don't even have fajitas on the menu here. Steve, what is this about? And it turns out Steve was selling black market underground fajitas to willing buyers.
Black market black beans. What a time to be alive.
How many fajitas do you have to embezzle for it just to become a federal offense?
About $1.2 million there.
$5 a fajita, he'd have to push about 27,000 fajitas a year through a county that I've never heard of before, unless he was selling them on eBay. Oh, wow.
Who the fuck would buy fajitas on eBay?
Oh, Alex, I've got a deep freeze that's cavernously empty right now.
Beej, no, I'm telling Heather. Heather, Beej is being stupid.
Oh, that's not news to me.
I'm making an investment. I'm guaranteeing our future.
All you're guaranteeing is gastrointestinal distress.
Oh, you don't look like my wife anymore.
New wife, who dis?
Paramedics in the UK were thankfully able to save the life of a man after he somehow got an entire 14-centimeter long Dover sole stuck in his windpipe.
I know what you're thinking, but I was just swimming along and this fish come down my throat. I'm not weird.
Was he working his way up to swordfish swallowing?
Dude must have thought he was Shang Tsung or something. I'll swallow your soul.
Except it was the fish that attempted the fatality.
All I got now is shitty soul puns. Not even worth the effort.
That's why you never go fishing solo.
His friends were with him. You idiot.
I'm trying my best over here, ass soul.
Good to see my two co-hosts getting along so well. And for our third and final story this week, we're going to do something I've never done before. We're going to just read a story in its entirety and let Bij and Alex weigh in every once in a while, because this is the best story I have ever read on Feed Dump. Man banned from playing car stereo in Central Saanich. Dustin Hamilton is not allowed to play his car stereo in Central Saanich. In fact, Hamilton is prohibited from driving his PT Cruiser at all unless he's taking his girlfriend to work and back. Since May, Central Saanich police have received about 17 noise complaints from the residents of West Saanich Road between Keating Cross Road and Wallace Drive. People are saying their pictures are rattling off the wall and coffee cups are falling off the table, says Corporal Dan Cottingham. They can feel the vibrations through the floor of the house. The noise is scaring the livestock. Little kids wake up crying in the middle of the night because the stereo scares them.
Scaring the livestock? What the hell do we have room for to ranch on this island? Micro cows?
You can milk them for a very fine IPA.
According to Corporal Cottingham, Hamilton has actually removed the entire back seat of his PT Cruiser and replaced it with car stereo equipment, describing it as quite something. Hamilton appeared before the courts on August 21st to vary the undertaking so he could take a special route in Central Saanich and still play his stereo, saying, "It's what I do for a living. It's what I do for love. I've put hundreds of hours and my girlfriend's put all of her money into the car. It's what we love. To say don't play your stereo in Central Saanich is depressing."
It's what you do for a living, huh? all of your time and all of her money. I can see you're both making an effort.
Prosecutor Jeff Johnson told the court that neighbors are so furious that the police are concerned not just for the neighborhood, but for Hamilton's well-being. The police say it's actually louder than being beside a transit bus engine. The judge asked him, "Mr. Hamilton, what are you doing? Why do you insist on playing your stereo so loud?" Hamilton said, "I didn't know it was doing this. Nobody told me it was doing this."
No one was telling you? Maybe you couldn't hear them.
We're being quite polite by not making fun of the fact this is a PT Cruiser, but there's a lot we could mine here. For example, this actually sounds an awful lot like folklore.
Come hither and bend an ear to the tale of the boom truck.
Winding its way through the neighborhoods, bothering small children and turning livestock sterile in Brentwood Bay.
Corporal Cottingham said that the stereo dispute has resulted in confrontations and that people in the neighborhood had actually started following Hamilton. They were so angry. One man posted notices in coffee shops and banks asking people to call the police if they had been noise impacted. And another one boxed in Hamilton's car at the RBC parking lot. Hamilton, for his part, now faces a criminal charge of mischief, and his next court appearance was just this week on October 25th. And meanwhile, his poor girlfriend, Katrina Jordanay, has left her job in Brentwood Bay and now works at Tillicum Center so the couple can drive into town together, music pounding. "I grew up in this town. I'm born and raised here," Jordanay said. "We've always had bass."
Bass loud enough to shatter glass at 400 yards.
Bass loud enough to confuse whales into beaching themselves.
Bass loud enough to make old women frisky and young women furious.
"I think this whole thing is ridiculous," said Hamilton. Around his neck, he wore the gold medal he won on August 13th at the DB Drag Racing Auto Sound Competition in Colwood. Hamilton won in the extreme sound pressure level category, although he admitted he was the only competitor.
I can't. Like he's like not only does he seem like a bit of an idiot, but he also just like it's.
Is it possible to get brain damage from sound waves?
Oh, I don't know, Alex. I've been sitting here listening to Kathleen tell us this entire story, and I feel at least 3 decibels dumber.
That's not a metric you can measure smart goods by.
Me am no like too loud boom cruiser. Bad lines. Represent misbegotten youth culture that not exist.
Me am have headache from story and bass.
And on that bombshell, which I swear to God was just a legitimate reading of a real news article that ran in our local paper and not the plot outline for American Vandal Season 2. It's time to call this episode of Feed Dump to a close. But remember, there may be better sources of news, but they don't have Alex and Beige, and they don't have this hat, which was given to us by Ray Power. And it's all about beautiful Las Vegas. Remember, what stays in Vegas happened in Vegas, and then it will be highly marketed towards you and probably socially engineered to make you enjoy yourself. Because that's kind of what they do in Vegas. It is this fine art, it's a science they've been working on for years to separate you from your money. Vegas, come be poorer here.
Maybe this amount bass excessive and inconsiderate.